Installing the Brondell Coral Undercounter Water Filtration System is simple. Follow these steps to install and use your water filter. You will also need an existing hole at least 7/16 inches in diameter in the sink or countertop to install the supplied filtered water faucet. If drilling a new hole in your sink or countertop is required for installation, please consult a professional. To install the provided faucet, insert the top spout into the faucet's main body and screw the top cap clockwise until secure. Insert the faucet's blue tubing through the escutcheon and bring the escutcheon up all the way to the main body. Feed the blue tubing through the sink or countertop hole to the cabinet below. From under the counter, thread the large plastic washer, flat side up, lock washer, and locking nut up the blue tube to the countertop. Tighten the locking nut until the faucet assembly is firmly in place. Pull the plastic tab out from the battery compartment to activate the faucet indicator. To supply water to the Coral system, turn off the cold water supply under the sink at the wall. Turn on the sink's cold water faucet to drain the residual water from the water lines. Disconnect the metal cold water supply line from the shutoff valve. Insert the rubber washer into the provided T-valve and connect it to the cold water supply valve using the provided adapters if necessary. Reconnect the faucet water supply hose to the top of the T-valve. Locate the two Quick Connect 90-degree elbows and the filter head connection assembly. Attach the two elbows to the inlet and outlet. Use a pencil and a level to mark where the filter head connection assembly will be mounted to the wall of the cabinet, ensuring it's placed at least 14 inches from the cabinet floor. Secure the filter assembly frame to the cabinet wall using the provided screws. To insert the filters, line up the arrow on the filter head connection assembly with the arrow on the filter. Insert the filter into the assembly and turn 90 degrees to the right until the filter will not turn anymore. The filter head connection assembly arrow should now be lined up with the circle icon and notch on the top of the filter. For the single filter model UC100, this process is complete. For the triple filter model UC300, repeat the process for the pre-carbon filter and carbon block filter, making sure the colors on the filters match the colors on the filter head connection assembly. Insert one end of the provided white tubing into the T-valve quick connector. Push the tube firmly into place to secure and ensure the T-valve switch is pointing up. Insert the open end of the white tubing into the inlet elbow on the filter head connection. Insert the blue tubing into the outlet elbow on the filter head connection. If desired, carefully cut the tubing to shorten. Open the T-valve by turning the valve switch 90 degrees to point at the white tubing and turn on the water supply. Check for any signs of leaking in the system. Turn on the provided faucet for 5 minutes to flush and activate the filters. This wastewater is safe for watering plants. Congratulations, your Coral installation is complete. Please refer to the owner's manual for instructions on how to properly operate and maintain your Coral.
Let's take a look inside of AquaTrue and see how it works. AquaTrue is powered by our patent-pending 4-stage TruPure technology. In stage 1, the water passes through a mechanical filter that removes larger particles like sediment and rust. Stage 2 is the reverse osmosis pre-filter that removes chlorine and chloramines. In stage 3, a high-pressure pump pushes the water through the reverse osmosis membrane, filtering out dangerous pollutants, chemicals, and contaminants. And in stage 4, the water passes through an activated coconut carbon block filter, which ensures pristine, great-tasting water. Finally, purified, bottled water quality water collects in the clean water tank for easy dispensing.
Installing the Brondell Cypress Countertop Water Filtration System is simple. Follow these steps to install and use your water filter. Before installation, please watch our Quick Connects tutorial found on Brondell.com, as all of our water filtering systems use these types of plumbing connections. The Cypress water filtration system has two possible installation methods. The first method shown explains installation with the provided faucet diverter, followed by an alternate under-counter installation option. To complete installation with the faucet diverter, locate and remove the original aerator from the faucet. Insert the rubber washer into the threaded side of the provided diverter and connect to the faucet, using one of the 3 provided adapters if the diverter does not thread onto the faucet. Hand tighten to secure. Do not over-tighten. Insert one end of the white tubing into the gray quick connection on the diverter. Next, locate the gray plug in the elbow on the back of the Cypress. Using the tool found inside the lid of the Cypress, press down on the ring above the elbow and pull the plug out. Insert the open side of the white tubing into the elbow. Move the system over the sink. Point the diverter switch up to the faucet. Turn on the cold water and point the diverter switch to the white tubing. Then press the button on top of the Cypress to dispense water into the sink. Let the system run for 10 minutes to flush the system and activate the filters. After 10 minutes, press the button to stop the water, point the diverter to the faucet and turn off the cold water. The Cypress installation with faucet diverter is complete. To install your Cypress with the alternative under-counter T-valve, please complete the following. First, note the size of the water supply connection under your sink and visit Brondell.com to purchase your Cypress H630 alternative installation T-valve in the correct size. When ready to complete installation, turn off the cold water supply under the sink at the wall. Turn on the faucet to drain any residual water. Disconnect the cold water supply line from the shutoff valve. Insert the provided rubber washer into the female end of the purchased T-valve and connect it to the cold water shutoff. Reconnect the faucet water supply hose to the top of the T-valve. Locate the provided white tubing and insert it into the elbow at the back of the Cypress and position the Cypress over the sink as noted earlier. Run the tubing to the T-valve under the counter. There are many options, but in this installation, we are drilling a 1/4 inch hole into our laminate countertop before pushing the tubing through the hole. If drilling a new hole is required for installation, please consult a professional. Back under the sink, insert the open end of the white tubing into the open end of the T-valve. Point the T-valve switch up to the metal supply hose. Turn on the cold water supply valves and check for leaks. Point the T-valve switch to the white tube to run water to the Cypress system. With the Cypress over the sink, depress the button and flush the filters for 10 minutes. To stop the flow of water, press the button on top of the system. Your Cypress is ready to be used with just the push of a button. Congratulations! Your Cypress water filtration installation is complete. Please contact Brondell Customer Support for any additional questions.
alkaline system pretty much installs itself. Knowing it can be a hassle when it comes to improving your home, we have designed each element to be easy to install and maintain. But that's just the beginning. Meet the Express Water Alkaline RO, the filtration system that removes up to 99% of contaminants found in your tap water and supplies it with essential minerals and antioxidants through a 5-stage natural alkalinization process. It's in thousands of homes, has already saved millions of dollars, but the best part is, it pays for itself in less than 6 months. Try 1 glass of fresh, alkaline water from our system, and bottled water will be history. The Express Water Alkaline RO installs itself, then pays for itself.
Begin the installation process for your Whirlpool water purifier. You first need to decide where you'll mount the system. The water purifier requires the use of a dedicated faucet, so determine where you want to install the faucet, on the sink or in an alternate location. There may already be a usable hole in your sink, possibly intended for a sprayer or soap dispenser. If not, you'll need to drill a new hole for the faucet. To start this process, first, look under the sink to make sure there's enough room for the hole and tubing access. Sinks come in different materials, so you want to make sure you have the correct drill bit for the job. You'll need a hole that's 1 1/4 inches in diameter. Once you determine where the faucet will be installed, choose a method of drilling for your sink type. Shown here is a porcelain-coated cast iron sink. Start by drilling a pilot hole. Next, you'll drill through the sink. With a hole drilled into the sink or countertop, you can mount the faucet base to the hole. Slide the mounting screws and retainers into the hole. Tighten the screws to secure the faucet base to the sink or countertop, making sure both of the toggle wings are in contact with the sink surface. Now, slide the faucet's blue tubing down through the top of the faucet base. Secure the faucet to the faucet base by engaging the threads and giving it a 1/4 turn clockwise. Next, find the best location for the water purifier system. You'll want easy access to the filters for replacement. Make sure you provide at least 1 1/2 inches beneath the filters. Begin by drilling a pilot hole for the first mounting screw. Attach the first screw and washer. Then level the water purifier and drill a pilot hole for the second screw 8 1/2 inches from the first hole and attach the second screw and washer. Remove the protective plugs from the yellow inlet and blue outlet ports before you mount the system. These ports utilize push-to-connect fittings for tubing connections. To connect, push the tubing into the collet. Make sure the tubing is inserted completely, or 3/4 of an inch. Make sure the supply water is shut off and the pressure is relieved before removing any tubing. To remove tubing from the fitting, push in the collet ring with your fingers and then pull the tubing out of the fitting. To make the filtered water tubing connection, slide the 3/8 inch blue tubing into the blue collet of the system. Ensure the tubing is pushed all the way into the fitting. It may be necessary to use the tube bend supports to prevent the tubing from kinking when bent. With the blue tubing connected, you can mount the water purifier to the mounting washers. The faucet and water purifier are now installed. The next step is to attach the 3/8-inch yellow tubing, which is the feed water line. Insert the yellow tubing into the corresponding yellow push-to-connect fitting on the system. Be sure the tubing is pushed all the way into the fitting, and remember that it may be necessary to use the tube bend supports to prevent kinking. Before installing the feed water fitting, shut off the cold water supply to the sink and open the cold water faucet to relieve any built-up pressure. If there is no shutoff, you may have to shut off the main water supply. Attach the feed water T-fitting and insert one end of the 3/8-inch yellow tubing. The finished water purifier system installation should look something like this. The water purifier faucet base has a 6-month timer light that will remind you when filter cartridges need to be changed. The timer will activate once the battery is installed. To install the battery, remove the retaining screw on the faucet base and lift out the battery holder. Install the timer battery, noting the positive and negative sides of the battery. When first installed, the light will flash 6 times and turn off. When you see this indicator light flash, put the battery holder back into place in the faucet base and secure the retaining screw. Finally, turn the water back on and pressure test the system for leaks. Turn on the purifier's water faucet and let it run for 10 minutes. This will purge any air or carbon particles out of the filter cartridges. Once the system is purged, you're ready to go.
Installing the Brondell Circle Reverse Osmosis Water Filtration System is simple. Follow these steps to install and use your water filter. Before installation, please watch our Quick Connects tutorial found on Brondell.com, as all of our water filtering systems use these types of plumbing connections. You will also need an existing hole at least 7/16 inches in diameter in the sink or countertop to install the supplied filtered water faucet. If drilling a new hole in your sink or countertop is required for installation, please consult a professional. To install the provided faucet, insert the top spout into the faucet's main body and screw the top cap clockwise until secure. Insert the faucet's blue tubing through the escutcheon and bring the escutcheon up all the way to the main body. Feed the blue tubing through the sink or countertop hole to the cabinet below. From under the counter, thread the large plastic washer, flat side up, lock washer, and locking nut up the blue tube to the countertop. Tighten the locking nut until the faucet assembly is firmly in place. Pull the plastic tab out from the battery compartment to activate the faucet indicator. To supply water to the Circle system, turn off the cold water supply under the sink at the wall. Turn on the sink's cold water faucet to drain the residual water from the water lines. Disconnect the metal cold water supply line from the shutoff valve. Insert the rubber washer into the provided T-valve and connect it to the cold water supply valve using the provided adapters if necessary. Reconnect the faucet water supply hose to the top of the T-valve. Locate the provided orange tubing and insert one end of the orange tubing into the T-valve quick connection. Push the tube firmly into place and ensure the T-valve is in the closed position with valve switch pointing up. As the Circle Reverse Osmosis system creates wastewater, you will be required to have a drain line connection. This can be a pre-existing 1/4-inch quick connection, or this can be drilled into the drain pipe. The following steps display how to drill into the drain pipe. If unsure about this process, please seek professional help and always wear safety protection, including safety goggles. Locate the provided drain clamp and find a suitable area above the drain pipe trap to install it. Using an 1/8 of an inch drill bit, drill a hole into one side of the pipe where the drain clamp will be installed. Wrapping masking tape or duct tape around your bit will stop the drill from going through to the opposite side. Use a 1/4-inch drill bit to enlarge the hole. Next, unscrew the gray quick connector from the saddle of the drain clamp and disconnect the two clamp halves. Insert a straight, thin item into the front of the saddle, and then insert the end of the guide into the hole drilled in the drain pipe. With the clamp lined up with the hole, screw on the back of the clamp and tighten with a screwdriver. Remove the guide and reattach the quick connector. Next, insert the white drain tube into the quick connector and push firmly into place. To connect the tubing to the circle, first insert the open end of the blue tubing into the circle's middle hole labeled Outlet. Connect the open end of the white tubing from the drain clamp to the hole labeled Drain. Lastly, connect the open end of the orange tubing into the hole labeled Inlet. With tubing installed, move the circle into position. To run water to your circle system, turn the cold water supply on and open the T-valve switch to point at the quick connector. Check for leaks. Before the first use, turn on the provided faucet for 10 minutes to purge the air out of the system. It is normal for some water to flow out of the faucet during this first purge. Next, turn the provided faucet off for 40 minutes and let the water tank fill. After 40 minutes, turn the faucet on for 10 minutes or until the tank empties to flush the filters and the water tank. This wastewater is safe for watering plants. When the tank is empty, turn the faucet off. After approximately 40 minutes, the tank will refill with filtered water ready to drink. Congratulations! Your Circle Reverse Osmosis installation is complete. Please contact Brondell Customer Support for any additional questions.
In this video, we'll go over the steps for installing the Water Direct Connect water filter. The procedures are the same for all of the Water Direct Connect type filters listed here. The Water Under Sink water filter comes with everything you need. The easy installation takes just minutes, no plumbing tools or know-how needed. Start by writing the date of installation on the filter for future reference. Next, turn off the cold water supply to your sink. Disconnect the existing hose that leads to the faucet from the water supply valve. Connect the inlet hose of the water filter to the water supply valve. The inlet hose is on the left side of the filter. And connect the outlet hose of the filter to the faucet hose. Secure the filter using the provided screws in a convenient location under your sink. Turn the cold water supply valve back on. And activate the filter by allowing the water to flow for 3 minutes. Now don't drink this water, it may contain black carbon particles.
Hi, I'm Megan. You're about to discover a breakthrough way to get great tasting clean drinking water and save an incredible 2,000%. Perhaps you already have a water filtration system at home, or you believe your home's tap water is perfectly healthy to drink, or even get bottled water delivered to your home. No matter the way, I'll promise you this. Just by watching this short presentation, you'll know more about saving money on drinking water than most Americans. First, let's look at how bottled water became so expensive and expose some dirty little industry secrets. For years, the big bottling companies never had to disclose where they got their water. The reason why is simple. Bottled water companies use public water sources for their product. Bottlers tell you their water comes from springs, but in reality, they get their water from municipal sources. Their marketing campaigns trick the public into thinking the water is from some pure, clean source when it's just plain old tap water. Consider this. A gallon of bottled water is 2,000% more expensive than tap water, and twice as expensive as a gallon of gas. Keep watching. This next fact will blow your mind. Depending on where you're living, water from your tap could be running through pipes that predate World War I. Flowing through those corroded pipes, water can pick up harmful toxins like lead, bacteria, viruses, and copper. Not to mention the chlorine, fluoride, and pharmaceuticals found in water to begin with. This problem exists all across the country, from Flint, Michigan to Jacksonville, Florida, New York, Ohio, and places in between. In fact, scientific research indicates that as many as 19 million Americans may become ill each year due to the parasites, viruses, and bacteria in drinking water alone. Now let's talk about water filters. Do they really do a good job keeping your water clean? Most water filters can help remove some elements from your water, but miss the most dangerous ones. They aren't even certified to filter out lead, bacteria, viruses, pesticides, pharmaceuticals, or fluoride. So the question is, how can I still filter my tap water, make it taste good, and save loads of money? Imagine having 110% confidence you could draw water from a lake, stream, well, and yes, your tap, and get clean, healthy, clear drinking water for a fraction of what you'd spend on bottled water. Introducing the Alexa Pure Pro. Here's what makes the Alexa Pure Pro uniquely effective. The Alexa Pure Pro is a countertop water purification system that uses gravity to eliminate 99.9999% of harmful lead, heavy metals, and other poisonous chemicals. The filter, a patented, rigorous, independently tested process, giving you the cleanest water. Our proprietary catalytic gravity block features zeolite ion absorption technology, which forms a protective barrier, eliminating contaminants from your water. And your Alexa Pure Pro filters out 99.9999% of these dangerous contaminants: lead, viruses, heavy metals, chlorine, bacteria, and volatile organic compounds. The flow rate from the Alexa Pure Pro is quick, starts within minutes. Just fill the Alexa Pure Pro with any non-salt water into our generous 2¼ gallon upper reservoir, and gravity does the rest. The Alexa Pure Pro filters up to 5,000 gallons of drinking water. The filters are simple to install. It's the most hassle-free, pure water system imaginable. Now, you might be wondering about the price of the Alexa Pure Pro. Think about what it's costing you not having the Alexa Pure Pro. As you've discovered, you'll either get fleeced buying bottled water or risk contamination from your tap water. Normally, you'd pay over $1,000 for a whole house water filtration system, but you won't pay close to that. In fact, act now and you can own the complete Alexa Pure Pro system for only $197. Over the course of a year, that's a measly 54 cents a day for clean drinking water. Honestly, it's truly the best option for both your health and budget. But now you have a choice to make. You can either continue to overpay for bottled water or expensive water filters that don't deliver, or start drinking clean, healthy, safe water today while saving money. Order your Alexa Pure Pro today.
Hi, I'm John with Perfect Water Technologies. Today, we're going to be installing the Tapmaster Junior series. This particular unit is the Tapmaster Junior F2, however, the installation across all of the different models is identical. So we've unwrapped the Tapmaster Junior. Let's take a look at the contents. First of all is the installation instructions, owner's manual, and filter change guide. Please retain this. We also have the faucet adapter. If you have a female kitchen faucet, you're going to need this, and this will work for about 90% of faucets out there. Yours may be different, and so you would need to then go to an aftermarket faucet adapter. It is the adapter ring and the O-ring together. Here we have the filtration unit. This is the sump on top. The cap is on the bottom. Here is the diverter valve and the pull pin. When you pull on the pull pin, it actuates it and the water comes out of the spout. Otherwise, left at rest, the water will continue to go through the aerator tip. So we've examined the contents of the highly portable Tapmaster Junior. Let's get started with the installation. The first step is in removing the aerator tip from your faucet. Now, if your faucet is old and crusted over, you may need to use a wrench, and the first step in removing that, using your wrench, is to put a paper towel or soft cloth over the aerator tip to protect it and give it a turn to loosen it. Once it's loosened, you can continue loosening it by hand. Unscrew the aerator tip from the kitchen faucet until it drops free, and you'll notice that there's an O-ring here. If you do not see the O-ring, look inside the kitchen faucet and pull out the O-ring. You're going to need that space in order to install the new O-ring. Once you have completely and successfully removed the aerator tip, please retain it. Put it in a plastic bag, drop it in your junk drawer, put it with your important papers. Please retain the aerator tip. The next step in installing your Tapmaster Junior is to fit the diverter valve onto the faucet. Since this faucet is female rather than male, you will need to use this adapter. Otherwise, you would just proceed right to screwing this on. So we will go ahead and screw this in here. It has an O-ring, and so it will positively seal on its own. You may notice some water coming out of your faucet as you move it around. That's to be expected. Then go ahead and fit the diverter valve onto the faucet adapter and hand tighten it. Go ahead and use two hands. If you have your wrench, you can cinch it down that way, but it really shouldn't need to be that much more than hand tight. You'll find out as soon as you turn on the water, which we'll do now. Remember to always use cold water. You'll see some air coming out. That's normal. This is your normal unfiltered tap water coming out of the kitchen faucet. When you want to get the water through the Tapmaster Junior, you will need to pull the pin. The first water coming out of your Tapmaster Junior will contain air bubbles. It will contain loose carbon potentially, depending upon the model. Go ahead and let the system run for about 10 minutes, and then you can go ahead and use it. Now, when you use it for better filtration, turn down the water a little bit. Run at about half speed. At full speed, your water is still filtered. The more contact time the water has with the media, the better filtration you're going to get. When you're done, turn off the water, and you will see that the pin returns to its normal position, which is the water coming straight through. You'll notice that the water will continue to drip from your Tapmaster Junior because just like a garden hose, there's still water in the housing, there's still water in the line. If that troubles you, go ahead and lean your unit forward to speed it up. This completes the installation video for the Tapmaster Junior Series countertop water filtration system. If you have any questions, please visit our website, theperfectwater.com. Once again, this is John with Perfect Water Technologies. Thank you.